Buddy, and welcome to today's live. Haven't done a live in a long time. However, I felt that this would be a super fun live to bring on Mapaya and have her share with you why a soul surgery and a soul essence portrait would greatly benefit you in calling in your sacred union partner, as she is part of the bonuses that you receive for when you sign up for my mentorship, when you pay in full for the 6 month mentorship, or if you decide to do 12 months, you get whether you do payment plan or paid in full, you'll get the bonus with Mapaya, and you actually get extra sessions in there as well because it is a full year-long container. And I thought, like, how about we bring Mapaya on here and have her share her beautiful gifts and why it's such a powerful tool as you're taking on this journey of calling in your sacred union partner, or even if you are already in a sacred union, because I did a sacred union portrait. Like, it wasn't just for me, it was about Ron and I and how our gifts came together, which we'll talk a little bit about that, how our gifts work together. And we'll talk about that in a little bit in a moment. So I felt it was so appropriate for you to get to know Abhaya, understand her work, and learn about this powerful medicine. Because I know my work is more practical and very grounding, and Mapaya brings in the beautiful ethereal. So I really wanted to have someone that brought in the magic, that brought in the mystical, and did it in a really powerful way that would truly benefit my clients as we do a lot of the shadow work, generational healing, and removing the dense energies that my clients work through in order to be that high, clean frequency that is a requirement for a sacred to have and to hold and to create a life with the sacred union partner with your dream man. So welcome, Mapaya. So happy to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you. So honored to be here and doing this incredible work together with you. It's just amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, it truly is. So I'm gonna share with you how we got into it together, but I do want to introduce her formally. So Mapaya is a multidimensional artist combining shamanic gifts such as energy surgery and soul portraits. Like, the work
Yes.
that, I mean, and there's more to it. Like, her work is just not with that. She does so much, like as the word says, multi-dimensional. Like, if you check out her profiles, like, you'll see all the different layers of work. Human design, gene keys, she does like artistry, clothing material, like outfits, right? Like
Fashion, jewelry. Yeah.
fashion jewelry, dancing.
Dancing. Yeah.
But dancing where it's like it's healing, like you feel the energies, like it's like I don't even know how to describe it, but
Yes.
truly
Oh.
multidimensional.
Yes.
Um, so our work, our relationship started first as client mentor coach relationship back in October of 2022, where Mapai I signed up for the first like program that I really put out, the Liberated Woman in Relationships, my signature program for calling in sacred union. And I remember she was my first client actually. Papaya was like my first client. Then we completed that program. And then a few months later, she came into one-on-one with me for a little bit. Then we had a little bit of a pause. And then she joined in on the relationship goddess portal, which was like a full year together. We did a little bit more. We did like 14 months together where she was in a group container, and she did all of my programs and classes and got also one-on-one coaching in that space. So anyways, so our relationship started like that, and in the middle of that last year, um seeing Mapaya's the soul essence portrait specifically, I saw you posting about that, and I was like, wow, this looks really good. Like, I want to learn more about it. I want to learn more about this. Every post she made, everything that she talked about, I was like, okay, this is really cool, but you know what? I really want to do it with Ron because I knew we were heading into this next stage in our life and our relationship. Ron had just moved down from Jersey. We were going to plant roots here. We were looking for a home to buy a home, and I knew that marriage, babies, all the things were going to start coming after we had our home. And this was a beautiful chapter in our lives that we were going to and to embark on. And I really wanted to clear out anything within our relationship or within our own beings that would affect our relationship. I wanted to clear all that and I wanted to see like what are our gifts? How do our gifts work together in our relationship? So I messaged Mapaya, I was like, hey, can you do a sacred union portrait? She's like, absolutely. Be my first one. And I'm so down to do it. I'm like, yes, let's do this. And when we did had the session, which is a soul surgery session, and then the portrait comes afterwards, which Mapaya will share more with you about that. Um, I was like, whoa, this is really cool because she removed a curse that was on my third eye. It was a scorpion curse that was on my maternal lineage on my grandmother's side, which had direct impacts on my generational family lineage with my aunt. It impacted her, and she had a beautiful breakthrough just from Mapaya working on me, which was fucking amazing. Um, and then she removed a missile from Ron through the paternal lineage, through his like body. They were like massive. I remember opening my eyes at one point and then seeing her like pulling out these huge things. I was like, whoa, what is she doing over there? Um, and then she also saw how Ron's dragon. So if you've seen the portrait, because I shared it, it's on my face on my timeline. You'll see that Ron has this dragon that comes out of him, and it wraps around us. And in the beginning, when she first was in the session, he was like almost wrapped around me too tight, trying to protect me too much. And it was a different, like it was like a green, only a green color, I think. And after she did some of the clearing, the dragon then was able to like move more freely, not so suffocating, and really be what it was meant to be as like a sovereign protector for Ron and for me and our relationship. And then other things that that appeared in that from our gifts were my crown and how it has flames at the end and it comes together and it shoots up to merge with God and co-creating with God, as well as I have Isis and the Mayan energies within my generation and my lineage. And then with Ron, his dragon shoots out in the fire or the breath, the dragon's breath actually shoots out like cooling, calming energy, which if you ever met my husband, you know that he's truly this calm, energetic presence when you feel him. And when my energy gets all wacky, so the crown opens and then it starts shooting fire out, Ron, his dragon, the breath calms my energy down, which is I could feel that in real life because I know how Ron's energy is just always so soothing to me. So, and then when I saw the portrait, I was like, oh my God, this is so fucking amazing. Papaya's work is so cool. Like you could feel it in your body. So I was like, I have to have her as part of my work, like as part of my inside my mentorships, like with working with the women that I work with, because I know her work is going to do things that I can't do. And I was like, I need someone like her. So that is how our relationship unfolded. So I would love for you to share with everyone what is um a soul essence portrait and how did you get involved with it?
Yeah, so I can imagine that some people are listening and are like, what the fuck are you talking about? Dragons? Missiles like scorpions? Third eye? And so I want to start by explaining that we are human beings, that we and we are Earthlings. We are on planet Earth, but as we are Earthlings, we are also cosmos links. Because as we are connected to the Earth, as we are flesh and bone, we are also cosmic. And we are in a time where we are waking up and we are remembering our connection to the cosmos, and that we are the universe, and that we are the whole solar system, and that we've got all the planets as energetic archetypes within us, and that what we can see in the universe, like stardust, planets, stars, is this kind of what we have in our energy field as well. And so within that, within the co-creation of the universe and the creation of planets and creation in general, is that creation in general consists out of archetypes and archetypal dynamics that then create myths and stories, and that's how we co-create creation. And so when we have things in the cosmos hanging in our energy fields for a long time, it then turns into matter here on this 3D planet, because that's how this planet works. And so when I find something in someone's energy field, if it stays in there, it has an effect on your daily life, and it has an effect on your relationships and on your health and on everything. So I just wanted to start there to give a little bit more of a concept of what it is, and then I want to share of how I got into this, because as we know, 2012 was like the end of the world and the beginning of a new world, where we kind of like started remembering this cosmic connection. And so not long after 2012, I had my big awakening where my third eye just blew open, and I started seeing energy everywhere. I started seeing all the stardust, kind of like the auras of trees, and I saw music in colors, and I was like, and I thought I was going crazy, and I saw my arms transform into tools, and I just thought I was going crazy. I went to the doctor saying like, my arms move around, I see things, and I was not taken seriously, of course.
Yeah.
And so
He was probably like, here's some medication.
yes, exactly. So I knew like, okay, fuck this shit. I am gonna figure this out on my own. So I'm gonna travel. And so I packed my backpack, sold everything, got rid of my house, and just like started traveling. And while traveling for 3.5 years or so, I got initiated into several shamanic traditions in South Africa, in Australia, in Indonesia, in Japan. And with that, I started learning about my gift. Then along my travels, I also encountered my shadows and my wounds that was very connected to the masculine, and therefore started working with Jessica, because that was like, I received this gift from a core wound with the masculine that I needed to heal from simultaneously as well. And so, long story short, I learned how to work with this gift, which was very overwhelming in the beginning, because I saw energies everywhere. It was very scary, very overwhelming, and I had to learn to switch it off and switch it on consciously. And I had to learn from, what am I seeing? What does this mean? How does this work? And as I did my own inner work and my own healing journey, I started to understand more and more of what it was that I was seeing and what I was doing. And so that's when I found out, oh, this is actually energy surgery, because I kind of like operate in the energetic realms, in the cosmic realms, where I can see very clearly with my third eye where in someone's energy fields are things in there that are blocking the light, your inherent divinity, and your life force. And so then my arms kind of like start transforming into the right tools to do the surgery with, to clear these things. And I love how you're calling it soul surgery, because that that's actually not what it is.
Oh,
Because
oops.
no, I thought I'm not going to say anything because this is perfect, so I can really explain. Um, and because the soul is the one thing that cannot be touched.
Mm.
Just like the dark night of the soul is the one thing that does not go dark. The soul is the delight in in the divine light. So it cannot go dark. It cannot be touched. It is the truth.
Mm.
And because as I learned this, as I went and got my experience, I realized that oh, sorry, I've got
Did the cat jump? So Mapija's sister's kitten just had,
babies.
or kittens. Her cat just had kittens. So if you hear anything, that's what it is, which I think is perfect because I'm pregnant. I'm about to give birth in a
Yeah,
month or so.
yeah, yeah, it's so cute. So so cute.
She's like, I want to be part of the conversation.
Yeah, I was like yelling in my ear. Um, so so the soul is the one thing that cannot be touched, and
Okay.
because as I started doing this work, I realized that the negative energy could be removed, but the light couldn't. I could like, and this is where I found out that um, that truth is really our divinity and the light and love, and everything else is illusion, and all these illusions can be removed from your energy field, that if they're not removed, be turn into reality in the matter.
Yeah.
And
I love
so
how you said illusions.
yes, they're illusions, but because we are such powerful creators as human beings, we our words are spells, and our with our consciousness we generate energy. We are the creators, right? So we
Yeah.
generate and then when we speak them, we transfer energy. Or like what you said, like with the dancing that I do, I also transfer energy with the dancing. And so every human being does that. But the frequency that your energy holds or your words hold can then be placed onto other humans as well. And so, for example, we have psychic viruses. Those are thought forms that are often generated by people in power who then um, come up with an agenda, with propaganda, and they spread that, and then it energetically that looks like a symbol, for example,
Mm.
that then starts to enter someone's energy fields. And then when they speak that to someone else, then that same symbol goes into someone else's energy field.
Oh,
And then it gets spread. And then everyone starts to thinking these thoughts. And
wow.
then that's how we are being controlled. And we need to be aware of that we can also release those and shift those. You don't always need energy surgery for that. Of course, there are so many ways to do alchemy.
Mhm.
But what I can do is, so for example, curses that have been placed or in your family curses or curses, I can see those in your energy field and remove those. And I can, how I found out like what's the difference between a curse or an entity or an extraterrestrial chip or
Mhm.
something from your ancestral line, or something from a past life thing. I started recognizing how different they felt. And curses, if it's a curse, the energy starts attaching to my arm, because then my arm gets the curse when I remove it, and then I have to clean it again.
Mm,
So that's how I figured out, like, and of course I'm learning every time again and more,
I
because
bet.
for me also this is expanding and expanding.
I bet. Because every person has a very unique way of
Yes.
things that are
Sometimes I'm like,
integrated.
what the fuck is this? Like, I've never and then sometimes there are things that I see often coming back. And so I've
Mm.
cleared uh, codes from the church that are in symbols in your system, that I've cleared so many crosses and churches out of the sacral that is blocking the sexuality, for example. But also I've cleared a lot of swords out of people's hearts or back of the hearts when they got killed in a past life with a
Oh,
sword.
wow.
So all these multidimensional layers of all these lifetimes that you have had before, it's all in your energy field. And so I cannot clear everything from your whole energy field in one session, because it's like never ending, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I always ask for an intention. Like, if there's something you're struggling with, or you have an intention, then I will be guided to clear things that are the most have the most an effect on that intention, to clear that for you. And so when I clear these things, what I can see is that your light just starts flowing in more. So your capability of remembering your inherent divinity is becoming more accessible to you, because these blocks have been cleared,
Mm.
which then obviously helps with standing in your power, speaking your truth, being self-connected to what it is that you actually want, and then finding courage to speak these things and to shift that. And then that's where Jessica comes in, that she then guides you through in the practical day-to-day actions that the energy surgery has. Like, I'm kind of like clearing the way
Yeah.
in the cosmos for then the light to anchor in, and the practicality to take place. So this is why it's an epic co-creation. Oh my god.
Yeah. It is definitely an epic
Yeah,
co-creation because
yeah,
it works together. Because I can only see the things that are physically being presented, and only so much I can see, that so much that gets presented in the subconscious that we do our best to bring to surface. But when Mapije taps in, there's so much more to that, and things that um for example, I remember in one session, she shared that one of my clients, she had a drowning incident when she was younger and how that was affecting her now. And we didn't talk about that at all, ever in any of our sessions. And so things like that, that she can tap into that I, with my own eyes, can't see, but Mapaya can see in the field. So it's an energy surgery, not a soul surgery. Correction.
yes. And to come back to that, because what happened for me, then I'm like, so I developed this extremely powerful gift, but then like selling that, or explaining what it was that I do, was so freaking hard, because people really didn't get it. And as I'm also an artist, and as I'm also a portrait artist, like, when I traveled the world for these 3.5 years, I made my money by making portraits on the street.
Mhm.
And when I found out that the soul and the light couldn't be touched, I started understanding, oh wait, this is truth. This is actually, and then I started watching these high frequency truths that I saw. And then I was like, oh my God, I can actually see people's gifts. And because I can see it so clearly, I was like, you know what? Let me make then portraits uh, to show people what I see. And it's actually an older friend of mine who said that to me, like, why don't you show us what you see? You're always talking about it, but show us what you see. And I was like, yes. let me show you guys what it is that I can see. And that's how the soul portraits came into the picture. Because I was like, if people are like, I'm not getting it, let me make it practical. Let me show you what I see and actually paint it out so that you can see what it is that I see, and then use that as a very powerful mirror for you to journey with. So because I realized I see someone's essence, I see someone's gifts and how their intuitive gifts and how they work also in the cosmos. And um, I realized, like, also with for myself as well, to ground, if you're so multidimensional and you have all these intuitive gifts, it's so easy to be swayed out of your power by all these people who say, that's not true, or you're talking bullshit, or well, I can see it, so it must not be true, or and then
Hmm.
we get all these psychic viruses and all these opinions from people, and then they come into our field and it clutters our field, and then it's harder for us to stand in our powers and share our gifts as well. So what these soul portraits also do is to help you remember your divinity. They help you remember your soul gifts, your intuitive gifts, your soul essence, so that the clutter and the rest and the bullshit of the outside world can't penetrate or over like ride these gifts that are within you, so that you step deeper into your power and share your light from that. So it's kind of like a light, anchoring light, so you can spread your light with that as well.
I love that. I love that. And when you receive the portrait, you feel it. Like every my clients, I felt it when I saw it, and then my clients are like, "Oh my God, like I can feel it." Sometimes I can even feel their soul essence in the portrait. Like one of my clients, I was like, "Oh my God, I felt that. I felt the energy of that portrait and how it is like her true essence there shining through." Um, so the you came about the energy surgery through these gifts that were starting to be revealed to you. You started on this journey traveling, and then you started to realize what your transformer arms can actually do, which was
Yeah.
in the um, mystical realms, or I'm not sure what you like to call in the other dimensional realms, you're able to remove things from people's systems that are not serving them anymore, whether it's curses, whether it's psychic viruses, whether it's alien implants, whether
Or and
it's trauma
yeah,
entities or
right,
traumas,
yeah,
past lifetimes, that all of that will then get manifested into the 3D world
yes,
and create self-sabotage, create shadows, resistances and blocks of receiving what you want because these are blocking your light. They're blocking your soul, which can't be touched. So, from my understanding, from what you're saying, our soul is always there. It's just
yes,
present, it's perfect, it's beautiful. What happens is everything else that gets layered on top of it that
yes.
we
Ex-
don't, that we
and
can't
then
access then.
and then we forget who we are because that happened, because we're coming, we're in the middle of a dark age that we've been in for how long?
Thousands of years.
Thousands of years, right? So all that shit is in there, and it's only now that we are waking up to these higher dimensional realms that we now, and also astrological, of course, that we get access to this now, and we need to clean some clutter, like
Deep cleaning.
yes,
That's for sure.
like all your ancestry, past lives, all the shit, hop, gone, so that we remember our divinity and start co-creating from our divine essence, where we then build a new golden age,
Yeah.
because that's going to be, we the way we think, the way our archetypes change from that, because when our inherent divinity is cluttered like that, and we forget who we are, we have a scared little inner child that then activates all these dragons, all these like survival archetypes, like the people pleaser or the rescuer, shadow rescuer, or the perfectionist, and we see those then play out in our relationships.
Mm. Yeah.
And then like shit, I am having a partner, and I'm so much in my pleaser or in my perfectionist. If I'm perfect, then he will not leave me. And then we create from that archetype, but the core is because we forgot our divinity.
Right. And our divinity is when
The
that's the primary driver of our field versus the shadow is when your in the work that I do, that your sacred union partner will then be magnetized to you. Or sometimes at least how it felt like for me, it was just like God was like, "Oh, you're ready now. Okay, let's bring everything like into action. Let's move these things and make the magic happen." Because sacred union and the way that I view it and the way that I see it is part of the love blueprint of the golden age. It is part of like this is how relationships are meant to feel like, are meant to be like. And our sacred union relationships are powerful containers, relationships of creation. Because number one, it births the next legacies of time, right? Through if the couple decides to have children, or if they're more entrepreneurial type, like a couple like that, they're birthing businesses and other things that bring value to the earth, right? So sacred union, it's more than just, and I always say it's more than just someone that you just check the boxes off and it's just like, oh yeah, they fit, they do, I can do with this. It is like generational healing. It is deep shadow work, in order to have this high frequency love and partnership because it goes beyond just you and the other person, which is how I think um the world is meant to operate because everybody has an effect in this world. Everything ripples off. So, yeah. So I love this conversation so much. Okay. So let's get even more specific in how does an energy surgery session assist in like the generational healing, shadow, and the dense energies that we can carry in our system when it comes to relationships.
um how specific do you want, like, because um I think I've quite summed up like how um the more we can connect it to our divinity, the better, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in because it's so layered, we there are over time also different things that come up. So if I do multiple sessions, I can clear completely different things the second time that might have to do with the same struggle or thing that you're dealing with.
I see. Mm-hmm.
Also because your body needs time to integrate. And so it's like how much can be removed in one session. Um, but to give an example, in so one client that I had, um, was more of, as an example, in business, which also is about relationships
Mm-hmm.
with your clients. I had a client who, no matter what, like how much effort she put into making an offer, she always had this fear that it was going to, um, be destructive somehow for her clients.
Mm.
And when I looked into her energy field, I found a memory from a past life where she was managing a war and made a mistake and lost the war.
Oh.
And so that memory that then reveals itself, like I can see it like in your chakra system, it kind of like a bubble, and then I can zoom into the bubble, and then I just enter the whole scene and get the information of what happened, then take the whole bubble and take it out.
Mm-hmm.
So that then after that she didn't have that fear anymore.
Mm.
So she knew, like, there is this fear that I have, that and no matter how much work I do on it, I still keep having this fear.
Yeah.
And when we cleared that, it shifted into her relationship with our clients, into the relationship with herself, with her offers, with her business. And so this could also be with your partner.
Yeah.
So if there's something in your mother line or in your father line that happened 3 generations ago, that it has now an effect and an influence on your patterns, because there was a trauma that happened back then that
Mm-hmm.
is then got stuck in the energy field, got repeated over time, because these frequencies then attract more of these same frequencies, and they create similar situations, just like with trauma, right? We experience trauma, and then over time we experience similar patterns, because it's the trauma that's in our energy field that then creates that loop.
Mm-hmm.
And when you clear the core out, it shifts the loop.
Okay. Yeah. Beautiful. So the energy surgery helps to remove the traumas, the generational wounding that keeps perpetuating the same loop, so that you aren't self-sabotaging anymore, or leading with an energy that is destructive for yourself.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
and therefore in relationships, if you um like with the client that you were sharing about, if that were translated into relationships, it would be like too much love to give because of fear of somehow her love could be destructive. Let's say if we took out her offer with love, because if
yeah,
when you're putting out an offer in the world, like you're giving your heart, you're giving something, so that
yeah.
therefore it could be like, my love is too much, or my love is going to hurt somebody, therefore I can't. And that will also manifest in the type of partner that she brings in and all of those things.
Yes,
I
exactly.
remember in one of my client sessions, because a lot of the work that I do as well is sacred sexuality, and that in the sacral chakra, there was like snakes and things that are blocking that field, which having like that awareness and having you remove or and clean out that sacral um chakra from that has helped a lot in moving and allowing the more flow of the sexual energy and less resistance to do some of the work that is necessary for for sexual healing, which can be confronting when you're doing it, but at the same time, of course, as long as you're approaching it with love and um, patience and grace, right? We don't force things on on our healing process with sexuality, but eventually we have to face these things or else it's going to stay in there. And with the energy surgery, it has helped to allow more flow with that area, and one of my clients specific in her area with that.
Fantastic. Yes, yes. And also, I only can see and remove what I'm allowed to see and remove. So So there cannot, these things cannot be forced within that.
Mm,
Um, and so everything that comes up, and especially from the sacral, from the heart, the throat, speaking your truth, trauma or things that are in your heart that are or armor that is around your heart can be removed as well. Like I've cleared so much armor around the heart, and but also armor around the sacral.
mm,
And when things like that are ready to be cleared, the client is ready to then start the next level of their healing journey without that armor, so they
yeah,
can move forward. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. That's why I love it so much because it it moves things in the unseen realms that then allows for whatever resistance that there is to start to dissolve and move in that direction. So then you see the soul gifts once these energies are removed. Um, and why would seeing your own soul gift, how would that be beneficial in relationships and calling in your sacred union partner?
The more we remember who we are and stand in that truth, the more we are activating our queen archetype. And when we activate our queen archetype, we are not begging to be chosen by
Mm,
men, but we are radiating to our light that men will chase. And so seeing your soul essence and your gifts is just a accelerator and amplifier to, and for you to journey with, and let it reveal it, because with coaching we can do so much, with the energy surgery we can do so much, with all the
mhm.
healing tools and whatever, we can do so much. But because this is a piece of art, it communicates in such a different way, and it
Right.
can reveal things a coach can never reveal to you, or a meditation can never reveal to you, because it is with visual reprogramming of the subconscious mind,
Hmm.
where you just get coded with your own truth. If you have it hanging on your wall, or if you have it as a background on your phone, or you have it printed on a journal or on a mug or whatever, and you drink coffee from it every day, you're kind of like reprogramming your subconscious mind with your soul truth and your soul gifts, so that you get more of these codes to remember your divinity, step more into your queen, and with that attract in your partner,
King.
without having to chase them, or
Yeah.
be like a little uh peasant on the streets begging for choose me please. No, all that
Excuse me,
energy is
please.
like out of the way.
I love it. Oh my God, a little peasant begging, choose me, please, please. Oh my God. Okay, so the soul gifts and with the soul portrait, seeing the portrait, it is a visual reprogramming of the subconscious. And that is something that is like an almost it's from what it sounds like it's an unspoken thing, is something that's felt and that you see consistently. I have it on my back screenshot or the wallpaper on my
Yeah.
phone. Um so for a single woman it helps to of course also for when you're taken in a relationship there's always deeper layers to activate your own archetype. But specifically talking about, because most of the women that I work with in my mentorship are single, that it activates their queen archetype, which is actively what they're working towards with me, so that their energy is magnetic, and not only are men are able to be drawn to her, or not even just men, the guy that she's calling in, he comes in closer and closer because as you are revealing more and more of yourself every single time that you're making a new decision with yourself as a woman in your life, it changes the timelines, right? So you're getting closer and closer to that. And it allows you to see the bullshit in other men too, so that
Yeah,
you're also not actively choosing the men who are not there to serve you. You're no longer choosing shadow matched relationships. You're choosing relationships that are going to be at your standard. And when you realize that, okay, this guy isn't it, you can just confidently walk and you're not there trying to make someone something that he's not.
exactly.
Um, right.
Exactly. And yes, so it's like illusions are taking off of your eyes almost, because these, like, even like entities and all the other crap that besides from the trauma that I also can find in your field, they just clutter your field with illusions, with clutter. So it's easier to project onto people.
Mhm.
It's easier to project like desires of, like, you know how we can project
Like lust.
lust, or the perfect like man that we project onto someone who's not
Oh,
at all
like just seeing
uh,
their potential and not really seeing the truth of who
the
they
truth.
are.
Yes,
Hmm.
yes, exactly. So you're just getting more clarity on that as well.
Yeah, love it. Love
Yeah,
it, love it. Um, yeah, I think we answered all the questions that we had
yeah,
here because, yeah, the last question was how would a soul portrait benefit women who are desiring sacred union? And you just answered that right there. Let me see if I have any other questions. Um,
and maybe we can share the some of the portraits in the comments.
oh yeah, yeah, we can do that.
Do that, yeah,
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 so they can have something to look at.
yeah.
Um, that okay, something that people are probably wondering is what happens in the session. Like, do you feel anything? Do you not feel anything? So maybe you can share a little bit what
Oh yeah.
what a session would feel like, look like if they decide to um, book a mentorship and then they receive this bonus and they're like, okay, what do I expect?
What can I expect? Yeah. So we go on a Zoom call, and and as the intention has been set, um, because as I can clear for your soul portrait, I can also clear things that are affecting the struggles that you're currently going through with your relationship. Then you're going to, when the intention is set, you're going to lay down, put the camera so I can see you, and then you're just gonna chill with your eyes closed, and then I'm going to set a sacred space, call in your guides, your ancestors, my guides, my ancestors, and all the ascended masters that want to help with that. And then I'm just gonna tune in, and my third eye opens up, my transformer arms get activated, and I start clearing and do the work. And so for the client, some people experience nothing, and they're just having a nice chill for an hour or so. Other people can see things, feel things, hear things, journey. I've had a few clients that, when I asked them, like, did you experience anything, that they shared exactly what I cleared. So sometimes we're so in tune
Oh
that
shit.
like a direct match. But it can be so different, and experiencing one energy surgery session and then experiencing another one month later can be completely different experience for you.
Mhm.
So it really depends on where you're at, what's happening, how cold you are, how warm you are, have you drank water, have you slept well, like all these things that have an effect on it. And so it really depends. And then during the session, when I start seeing the soul gifts, I sketch them out immediately, and then after the session, I will share what I've seen. I will share what I've cleared, and sometimes, I clear things that I have no idea what they mean, and
Mm.
sometimes I clear things that I'm also like, well, it's blocking your energy, it's blocking your life. I have no idea what this is, and I'm not getting any other information, so never mind. I just cleared it and it's gone now.
Do you
Uh,
ever like get a download about what it is in the future, or it just kind of like,
Sometimes, yes, but
mm.
also sometimes it doesn't make sense to me, but does make sense to the client.
Oh, okay.
So I, for example, cleared all these elephants out from someone's solar plexus,
Interesting.
and I was like,
Elephants.
okay, interesting. And then it turned out that she used to collect elephants when she was a child.
Oh.
See, so then I'm like, well, I have no idea what this means. But for her, she understood, and so because she collected elephants, and she had her self worth put on this elephant collection that she used to have,
Oh.
and so that was actually creating a block in her self worth solar plexus.
Oh, shut up. How crazy. It's like elephants. You're like, what's wrong with elephants, right?
Yeah, yeah. So I sometimes see the weirdest shit, and also with entities, they can if entities. So entities are um, kind of like the debris of our consciousness. It's kind of like consciousness clutter that
Hmm.
then turn into their own consciousness. So as we are cosmic creators, and we
Hmm.
create with our consciousness, and we create reality, we co-create reality with our consciousness. When we have low frequency thoughts or low frequency consciousness that's not really doing anything, it's because we're not perfect, right?
Yeah.
We have all these thoughts, and we're so multidimensional, and so um, over time, certain thought patterns that are kind of like clutter then form into their own little creatures,
Yeah.
kind of like parasites. And
Okay.
then these creatures then start to hatch because they're made out of low frequency. They then hatch onto low frequency. So they hatch onto trauma, and then they eat that away. So entities always have little teeth, and they can be sucking on low frequency, like trauma or whatever is stored in your energy field, and they eat away that. But like parasites, so they make it even heavier, make it heavier to heal from your trauma. And
Yeah, it's like they're like sucking, like latching on and like
that,
biting on, right? And like
that
creating like another scar or something.
yes, and if they are in your field for long, they merge with your energy. So
Oh,
just like if you put something in nature, it gets overgrown, the entity will get overgrown with your energy. And so then the entity is really, so they like to play hide and seek, and especially if they're like very long in your field, they're completely in your energy field. And so I'm learning also how to I can see now for how long an entity has been with you, with how much they've integrated with your energy field, and so they're
wow.
hard to see the longer they're in there. But they also grow bigger because they've been eating so long. So
Mm.
I've cleared huge entities from people sometimes. Oops.
Wow. Okay, I have a question. A question. Um, so so narcissists have been like a true narcissist, right? Or a sociopath, right? Like these people, like sometimes we can throw the word narcissist loosely, but and like there's different sometimes I guess you can say there's different variations. I would say scales of narcissism, in my opinion. But like at the highest, most intense narcissistic personalities, and you hear this, like they've been hijacked by the shadow, or anyone who's been hijacked by the shadow, would that be the same thing as an entity that has almost merged and taken over somebody um that is that like would that you see that in someone's energy field? Is that kind of like what you're talking about when like an entity or like becomes parasitic and merges in with them?
So from the work, like I've been quite for a long while in the realms of psychopathy and pedophilia and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And my realizations and findings in that is they're actually the biggest victims, because they feel completely powerless, and because they feel completely powerless, they have activated these dragons are huge, and so it's the survival archetypes that have completely taken over,
Hmm.
and they are kind of like creating the actions and the thought forms, and because the archetype has the thought forms,
Hmm.
and because there is because there's so much powerlessness, bec- there is so much powerlessness because there's such less self-worth, and because there's such less self-worth, so low self-worth, they
Yeah.
they cannot look at themselves.
Mm,
They can't see themselves in the mirror. They can't see their
mm,
own shadow.
I see.
So, and then on top of that, entities can attach to them and make it even more heavier and heavier and heavier. But with entities or not, they already cannot see themselves anyway.
So it's an archetype typal thing that has happened within them. Okay. So going back to where we were about what someone experiences. So they lay down and they can experience some things, not experience anything. You share with them what you see. Sometimes you know clearly exactly what it is. Other times it's like, I have no idea. And
Yeah,
sometimes the client knows, sometimes they don't know. And
you
then
know, or
sometimes,
they know, or they get an insight later.
okay,
Yeah, or we never find the meaning, and then we weren't supposed to, and it was just clutter.
just clutter. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like when
I'm
you're
always
cleaning out your house, you're like, what the fuck was this for? Like, we don't know, but it definitely doesn't belong here. Out. Out with the old.
and it can be like because our mind wants to understand it. So so sometimes I'm also like, don't worry about it, because
Mhm.
you trying to find the answer of what the symbol means just creates more
Right.
clutter of the. You don't need to play in that frequency field. Like it's gone, perfect, done. New energy.
New energy.
Yeah,
And oh, so then when you're removing the things, when you see your client's soul essence, you sketch them right
yeah,
away. Right
yeah.
away. So then what, so then the session completes and then what happens?
And then, so it can happen that you can feel a lot of emotions the next few days. If because if I cleared something, that now your energy fields like it starts rearranging and integrating. Sometimes things will be expressed or wants to, like, because your energy is like water, right? It moves, and if you have like if you take away a dam from an emotion that was like sitting there, and you take away the dam, and it's like now the emotion starts coming up. So sometimes heavy emotions can come up. Just be present with it and let it flow, because it's just a clear out. Other times it doesn't happen like that at all. And so it also depends on the session, on the person, on what got cleared. I always say drink lots of water, and maybe do a little ritual for yourself to ground it in, because otherwise, just for your mind to get on board as well. And then you send me a photo that you like of yourself that I will use as reference for the portrait. And then you can choose two different experiences. One experience is where I will share the process of the portrait with you until it's finished, and then I will deliver it. The other experience is where you do not see the process and you only see the end result. So you get a surprise. So those are just two different experiences that you can choose from. And then when I have created the portrait, which takes 3 to 6 weeks, we schedule another call, and then I will deliver the portrait to you, and we'll share again about the gifts and what I feel that it mean, without projecting too much onto what it's going to mean for you, because in the end, the artwork is going to do the work with you.
Want to do its magic.
It's gonna do its magic. Yes, yes. And then I will send you the files, and then you can print it out. You can put it on your phone, on your laptop. You can print it on a journal. You can print it on canvas. You can print it on a blanket. You can print it on a mug or whatever you choose to, and or on a water bottle or on a coaster, and program your water with it. Like, see it as a, how can you best reprogram your subconscious mind? Is that with something on your wall? Is that something that you drink water in? Is that something you write in, depending on your lifestyle?
Yeah, I love it. So it's so versatile in the ways that you can help once you receive the portrait, how it can help you in reprogramming your mind. Well, this has been so amazing. Thank you so much for being here with us and sharing all about your gifts and how the energy surgery um helps in this path that a lot of women are choosing, which is a sacred union path. So, there's 3 spaces available for the mentorship with me. And as a bonus, when you sign up for the 6 month paid in full, you receive a soul essence portrait with Mapije that you will get within like a month or so after we start working on our sessions. You guys set up the appointment and then you work your way, or you set your appointment and then get that picture. Or if you do the 12-month mentorship with me, you get 2 additional energy surgeries, and then the last one will be specifically for the soul portrait. So most of my clients end up rebooking for another 6 months anyway. So I do highly recommend that you do the 12-month if you are interested in working with me with Sacred Union Path, calling in your Sacred Union partner and activating your queen archetype and having your true essence be revealed and having your dream relationship. And this is a Mapije and I's work are a powerful co-creators to making that happen. So just message me if you are interested in that. And I will put in your Instagram as well in the comments. So if anybody wants to follow you on Instagram, is there anything else that you want to share before we close?
Yeah, there's one more thing I want to share about the power of sacred union and how that, like, because the universe is consistent out of archetypes and we are powerful creators creating with archetypes. One of the most basic natural laws is masculine plus feminine is equals creation.
Mm.
And so with sacred union and going for sacred union is where is we're really laying the foundations, the energetic foundations, to let the masculine and the feminine co-create into actual creation. Because what we see also in politics and what we see in culture is in society is that it's masculine only, and it's not a co-creation with the feminine. Or when it's only feminine and without masculine, nothing. It's destructive actually. If it's not sacred union, we're not creating anything. We are destructing
Hmm.
things. And so with sacred union, when choosing this path, you're not only creating a beautiful, loving relationship for yourself, but you're also building on the energetic foundations of the next golden age that we are at the forefront of. So
So beautifully said.
yeah, so I just really want to honor you so much for listening to this and being here with us and doing this work with us, because it's not just for yourself but for the whole universe, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So beautifully said. What a perfect way to close off the interview. So thank you so much, Papaya, and we will um, talk to everyone soon, I guess. I don't know how to close it. The awkward moment.
The only
All right, bye.
bye.